Hey folks, we are going to continue artwork here for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration supplement that we've been creating to complement Spelljammer that was released by Wizards of the Coast last year. Give me a second here to check my signal, make sure everything's coming through cleanly, and then we'll get into 100 minutes of fun. So hold on real tight. Let's see, under live here, sound equals C. Yes. Sound equals yes. Proceed. All right, cool. Boop, boop. I'm just going through my spiel here real quick and we'll dive in. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. Hi, I create role-playing game supplements. I publish them online. We have started this channel to go through the creation process of role-playing game supplements as PDFs, the text creation, the development, design work, such as what we do on Tuesday lunch stream with the Martial Power system that we use, actual text development of mechanics. And then we put them into layouts, which we've done on various Saturdays on this stream in the past. And once we have the layouts down, we start doing artwork and asset production, which we've been doing ongoing here with maps, NPC token production, as well as interior art, and of course the book cover that you're looking at right now for the what this is, the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration supplement. So I work primarily right now in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. You can see a slew of work that I've produced already in the description down below. They're all 100% free preview. You can read them through 100, cover to cover, just like you could at a bookstore. If you think they're cool, consider making a purchase to support the ideas. And if you like the artwork that's in the books, there's going to be more of the same coming your way. I just posted that I'm live on Twitter at Phil Kearney. I always post updates that I'm live. Sometimes I post the artwork that we work on. I'm supporting the channel through YouTube with a like, bell, subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 or more subscribers. Just want to see the channel grow. Have more people get involved and playing around with us. And without further ado, let's get into token production. So this is Phil Adra. She is the cultist pilot on Commodore Crux's ship, the Second Breath, that you start to kick around the multiverse on in the second act of Light of Xaryxis. The way that we built this is we have about 80 some odd pages of combat and exploration mechanics that can be used with ships and Spelljammer, and then the hold on, yeah, and scoot this so that it actually makes sense being on her skull. Yeah, front 80 pages is about like movement, different weapon systems, ship rolls, hazards, exploration through space, different scale of movements, how far away can you perceive things, random system generators, tracking through the void, yada 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 yada. And then the back 25 pages is using all these mechanics in the Wizards of the Coast adventure Light of Xaryxis, which is the official showcase adventure for Spelljammer's Adventures in Space. So only fitting that we would make Light of Xaryxis our showcase adventure for the mechanics that we have created for use with Spelljammer. So if you think the stuff that we've been building here is cool, you can check back in the earlier stream, like around, say, episode 20. Episode 1 through 20, I think, starts to introduce you to the ideas that are inside of the book, and then it dives into map making, asset production, like where we're at right now. And once we're done with this and we go back into page layouts, we'll be obviously sitting on the same page while we're doing artwork for that page for quite some time. It's a great opportunity for us to talk about the ideas that are in the supplement in general. So once we are finished with these Light of Xaryxis tokens, that's when we will find ourselves back inside the document, creating art, talking shop. I'm really looking forward to it. These we're on episode 50 of creating these tokens. That is a little bit insane. It's been about, I want to say, 6 weeks more work than I anticipated having when I originally conceived this project. I didn't realize, silly rookie mistake, didn't realize how much time assets would take, like that there would be value in me creating these NPC tokens. So initially I just thought I'd do some ship tokens and some interior art and we'd be done. But I didn't take into account how smoothly these mechanics we have transition from space combat into ship deck-top combat amongst characters. So naturally that it occurs, and it's in all throughout the adventure, so we have to provide the tokens so that once you get off your ship, you can start engaging with the NPCs and creatures that are inside of the adventure. So here we are, episode 50. And once this is done, we have 10 more to do. So let's see how we can do. Almost done with the flats. I just needed to fix those horns so that they actually sit proper on her head so it doesn't look stupid. Obviously I gotta fix this. It looks stupid. Well, that's right, I can just do this because I have horns. But I'm not happy yet with this. I don't feel like I'm quite hitting the mark, you know? So I'm gonna erase again. Really just take a few moments here to think about what's actually going on with this chick's skull. Me-nee-nee-noo. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Here we go. Hey, I spy with my eyes someone beginning with text. Hey, Harnetico, what's going on, my guy? We are figuring out perspective here through a hood for 2 horns on a tiefling. Couldn't be better. This is the work. This is the challenge. I feel like this should be pushed back just like a touch. There we go. Yeah. Now we can. Proper. How you doing this morning? Currently doing panels for Miniconk, trying to get this thing finished up before I get distracted with the next project in my rotation. No kidding, man. The struggle is real. So many ideas, so little time on this planet. There's no choosing wisely. There's just what it's exciting to do in the moment. The muse doesn't care about mortality. She just wants to make more stuff. When my time is done in this world, she will find someone else to channel through, and I'll hopefully get to see all the things that could have been. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. There we go. Happier now than I was before. That'll work. Okay, cool. Burp, burp. Happy, happy, happy. Everybody's happy. Happy, happy, happy. Sorry, some South Park there for you. Near her. There. Transform. Clunk that into place. Very good. Cool. Check it, check it, check it, check it, check it. We survived. Now we'll duplicate this layer. Take it out of space here. Yeah, right on. Let's get into it. So there's a base color we have here in the interior of the robe, so we are just going to adjust the lighting a bit by just changing the DP a bit. There we go. Oh, that's weird. Let's contend with you here for a minute. Get your shit straight. I like this pose. I'm happy with this character. Line work's a little sloppy, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. I mean, the flats are a little sloppy, but it's serviceable. Here and here. Either gonna go see that new Bumblebee movie either this weekend or the next weekend. Visually, it looks really cool. It looks like what the franchise, the Transformers franchise, is moving in the direction that I hoped it would. In that all the Transformers depictions are more true to the cartoons and the toys, where the paneling makes sense. It's got the same blocks of flat surfaces. That's what I mean by paneling, like the actual car panels and stuff that hang off of their frame. They've like the newer Bumblebee movie. It says they restored their original traditional look, so you can still tell what kind of a car they were when they're transformed to a robot. that was a horrible design decision. Transformers have such a distinctive look, the way that they hang their disguise off of their robot frames when they change. Like, just doing away with that is silliness. That's what's so iconic about the that was what was so iconic about the toys in the show. Why would you not want to lean into that IP? Anyway, they're figuring it out. So God bless them. In the adventure, the lies. Hey, how you doing, Shiner? This is Feladra, the pilot on the Second Wind. She's a cultist. The character, the creature, the NPC stat block for cultist. But her backstory is that she actually owes her patron otherworldly spirit money. Like she owes some guy like 6,000 gold pieces, and it's her Warlock patron. So like actually has to pay her patron to get her spellcasting powers. Like, what a shitty deal. Well, I mean, I guess it's an okay deal if like you don't want to like have to morally compromise yourself, but her involvement in the adventure is like, yeah, I'll go along with this thing if you need a pilot, but I'm in it for the money, like real Han Solo style stuff. But it's for a Warlock patron. That just cracks me up to no end. I'm imagining Cthulhu there, like with poker debt. It's like, man, my patrons better come through for me. It's such a goofball relationship. It's actually really funny. Anyway, the way that we built the mechanics, you don't need you don't need to be a spellcaster to be a pilot. I mean, it's a feat tax basically. It's the way that they built it is that you have to be a spellcaster and attuned to a spell jamming helm to be able to pilot a ship. But arguably, a rogue or a bard, well, bard's a spellcaster, but like a rogue or any other class, there's infinite storytelling reasons why you could have any class piloting a ship, but they chose to force us down the spellcaster route again, and it basically just becomes a feat tax to gain access to like cantrips or like magic initiate is all you need to be able to pilot these things. But for a fighter, that's a fucking feat tax. If you're not playing an Eldritch Knight, it's a drain on your resources. So seeing that it's so easy to be able to gain access to spellcasting, and how rude is it to feat tax rogues and barbarians and stuff like that, we just did away with it. Screw you. If you want to maintain spellcasting for the elite characters to be able to pilot your stupid ship, then you go ahead and keep spellcasting as a requirement. But we dropped it. So anybody can be a pilot. So you don't actually need this NPC on your ship at all, because it's a lot more fun for characters to actually pilot the ship and do melee combat and stuff like that with the rams and grappling weapons and other melee ship weapons that are available to be able to, chase each other down and grapple and tear each other's ships apart. It's pretty fun. So, but she's still there. I mean, if you want her kicking around with it, it's cool. There's a little practical reason for characters not to be the pilots. I mean, it's you're the adventurers. You're the people that are actually playing. But she can make a great support character. I mean, she can help with the piloting. She can do orrery checks. She can help with aiming and tracking. So she has purpose on the ship aside from piloting if you don't need her to. She could certainly use the money. If there was any mechanics or rules about like spell slots doing something for a pilot, or like the performance of the ship or anything like that, like in second edition, they had you be a spellcaster because your spellcasting ability dictated a lot of the maneuverability and speed of a ship in general. But since they scrapped all that in 5e, they made it a lot looser and it's static. Like, these ships can move whatever speed it is they can move, and that's all you can do with it. That actually opens up a lot of creative space to not have to worry about spellcasting at all, since it's basically a dead feature to piloting ships. It's just completely irrelevant. That opens up all the space to like a barbarian that can pilot a ship using rage to improve performance of piloting and smashing into other ships and tearing them apart with grappling weapons. That's a fun narrative, and there's no reason to deny a barbarian pilot. It's cool. I think it's cool anyway. So there's no reason to deny access to that. And we also had to change concentration on the ship to focus, which is a more loosey-goosey psionic style of concentration. It's a non-concentration that you can still lose focus, but you can regain it as an action or a bonus action. So a barbarian that's raging can still focus on a helm. He's focusing his rage through the helm to attack you with a ship. Making the pilot have to be able to cast spells was a bad call. Yeah, I mean, it's called Spelljammer. I mean, that really seems to be as deep in thought as they go with this sort of thing. It's I think these past few books, Strixhaven, Spelljammer, and Mordenkainen's Monsters, I think I think it's demonstrating that they don't really have a level of system mastery that a lot of third-party content producers have, which basically means that what Wizards is basically putting out right now is little better than Reddit homebrew, basically. And considering that they're serving it up to the online community to either thumbs up or thumbs down, means they have no actual conviction of how the game is built moving forward. They don't care. If they had a divine philosophy that was guiding the decisions that they would make, they wouldn't need our approval. They would just put out the content like, hey, here's where we think the game is heading. We want to make sure you guys get how these rules work because we're quote unquote playtesting. There shouldn't be any argument over, hey, are these, are these good rules or not? Does this work? It's like you shouldn't be asking the community if something works. You should be leading your own design philosophies on where you believe 5e should be and build the fucking thing and tell everyone this is a better game experience. If you don't like it, here's all the other books that we've ever created that you can purchase and use instead playing D&D. Hey, here's some 4th edition for you. If you don't like where 5e is going, we would love to have you back in 4th edition in the Astral Sea. Like they could be leaning on their IPs. They already built all those old books and they're all print on demand. Wizards doesn't have to punch out anything. They can just lean into the IPs they already have. It boggles me that they have this massive resource of library of older editions that are just steeped in, like, when they had no budget limits and they could just spend as much time and effort as they wanted on lore. It's like, why aren't you guys leaning into that crap? Like, you have the DMsGuild, man. Why don't you put out like the Inhuman Wars for Spelljammers? Like, here's this book, this book, this book is like $15. Go buy all that stuff. It's as much lore as you could possibly ever need. And here's the next step of that. Like, they ignore their own IP's existence, and it's just dumb. Improving the mechanics and the quality of a game over time is a great decision, but when you have so much history that you are just ignoring, it's like, hey, if you want to learn more, here's 15 books that's going to give you 1,000 pages worth of additional content if you want to geek out on this stuff. Like, that's a benefit. It's not a drag on their IP at all. To say, hey, yeah, we're updating Spelljammer. There's like 40 books back in 2nd edition. Check this shit out. Anyway, I'm ranting this morning. Don't mind me. I've got my rant on. But I do like how loosey-goosey they made. Like, there's so little rules. It's like they're non-rules, which makes it easy for someone like me to come through and build hacks of it, basically. Hack their game design system and expand on it. But that's what 5e is really, really good at. They just... I don't know. I just think they could build a hack. Like, I think they could really lean into the community of people that are hacking how 5e is used and just be more engaged. Like, if they're going to invest in PR and community engagement, like getting into the homebrew scene, like actively diving into the homebrew scene, I think would be a really good way. The problem as a corporation is they can't have a direct line from, hey, we think your stuff is cool, to we publish your stuff in a book. It'd be a PR disaster, even though, like, on DMsGuild, they have complete freedom to take anything that is published on the DMsGuild for their own use. If they don't acknowledge that they, like, took the Pugilist, for example, just like copy pasted the Pugilist out of the DMsGuild into the 6th edition, they would just be completely roasted if they don't pay substantial money to the person that created it. I think it was Benjamin Hoffman that created the Pugilist instead of, like, as a monk alternative, for instance. Yeah, boy, I'm spending a lot of times on the curvature of this robe, but I think it's turning out okay. I don't know. We all have opinions. I just wish more rules were being created by I don't know. I think Hasbro is overwriting a lot of what could be good design decisions. Just Wizards doesn't have any bandwidth for experimenting and making mistakes. If it doesn't resonate right away, they throw it away. It's just you gotta build what works for the game. You can't build to popular opinion. You're gonna have a crappy game. Maybe they're recanting on stuff because they've decided that they do know their own. They have their own guiding star now, and they're deciding to put their foot down on what they think their philosophy should be in building the game, and they're sticking with their convictions of having stilted class progressions and stuff. Who knows? They aren't sharing any of that information with us, so we all have to kind of guess. Merge these down. Merge! Oh no! Doop-doop-a-doo. Good. Flesh. Text. Ponetico. Watsy's design team either has no one left who understands the system or they don't have the resources time to work on it. Yeah, I completely agree. 100% agree. We could probably get away with bonding these layers together, the line art into the actual color work. I think this might be one of those. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. And this feels like a do. A do. Okay, that's good. What's good? We'll grab that as a dark light here. Yeah, so it looks like I'm picking up another cover art commission. I don't know any of the details yet, but it'll once we get there, I'll start. It's do not need to work on it until after we finish Ukulele Bards. But it looks like my Saturday morning stream is turning into a commission stream now. And that's cool. You know, work on other people's stuff. That'll be fun. Still gotta be picky about the projects I take, lest I get buried in unexpected work. Where's the bit to this? Give me any bits. Thank you. There's a lot of slop. sloppy line or sloppy flats is what I'm trying to say. That happens sometimes when I manually. Come on, show me your bits. Where are you at? Here, thank you. Here. Once I get this stuff all bonded together, we'll be able to do some cleanup. And we'll need to. This is some pretty loosey-goosey art. I think they lack design. I think they lack manpower to be able to produce the work properly, and they're still putting out content, man. Well, I mean, Spelljammer or Planescape. Oh, God, they got like the Giants, and they have Planescape, and they have something else, and these things have like an 8 or 9 month production time. So we got something coming out in February next year. They're still working on they're still working on that. I don't know. Do we know what their 2024 production window is looking like, or is it just one D&D? I can't imagine them not publishing books for a year and like having one D&D at the tail end of it. Their hunger for profit would not allow them to stop producing books for 6 months. Doesn't make any sense. I must be missing the big picture. Would not surprise me. I'm no super genius. There we go. Perfect. Let's go back to where we was. Good. Beep. Huh, alright. Let's just keep pushing that up then. Like this line art on this blouse would definitely benefit from being merged and then smudging in the line art so it fades out like a lighter material. So this is definitely a figure that would benefit from bonding the line art. Let's just make sure we get it done correctly. So Monday we have the day off, so that's a holiday for me, and I shan't be going back to work until the 28th. So I'll have tons of time on Monday. So we'll spend extra time doing asset production in the morning. We'll still do Eberron in the evening. And we'll end up doing, I don't know what we're going to end up doing. We're going to do something else in the afternoon. Something vacation-y. And then on Tuesday, I've got technically, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to do but I'm still gonna check in with my day job. I've got some stuff I want to make sure I get resolved before we bounce out of town on Tuesdays. So, or before I officially log out for the week. So, I intend to have an extended martial power session for my Tuesday lunch, maybe 3 hours. Work through a couple different subclass options for the power kits, and then Wednesday, I can have an extended morning. I need to resolve stuff for my vacation Wednesday afternoon, so I can afford to have like maybe 3 hours or so in the morning on Wednesday before I gotta bounce, and then I might have some time Thursday morning. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how my timelines are playing out. After martial powers on Tuesday, my timeline starts to get sketchy. But airplane on Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon. So no cartography on Thursday. So I might have to squeeze in some time to do some Eberron stuff maybe on Monday or Tuesday. And then I'll be back on Tuesday next week, the following week, back from vacation. Back for another extended martial powers. So we'll do a couple hours worth of martial powers on Tuesday when I'm back in town. I'm really enjoying that martial powers project, man. That thing is cool. I think it's gonna end up working out. I think the artwork on that's going to be fun. A lot of combat action posy type of stuff. I think it should be a lot of fun to do that on stream. I'm sensing a coffee time. Coffee. How we doing? 7 o'clock. Time to rock. Yeah, I'm liking how this is turning out so far. Pants. Is that all? That whole layer is just pants? Okay. Whatever, dude. Hold on. What's going on inside here? What is that? Oh, yeah, that has purpose. Acknowledged. Better line art. here. Nice. Okay. Good cleanup. Happy, happy, happy. Everybody happy. You are the cause of chaos. What? There. Let's see. Where am I? Pants. Pants. Vaga Vaga Pantalones. Guess I kind of committed there. This also needs to be faded in. Next. Yeah, all right. Let's go with like that. Yeah. Okay, I see it. There we go. Beep, beep, beep. So far, so good. Good. Nice. Like it. Let's push up the highlight like this. Just making up colors. Just making up colors as we go. That is, I feel like that is sufficient. So let's do here, here. Get that lighting right. Highlight here, here. Good to go. Next. Cool. Okay. Wait. Push this down more, like that. There we go. Perfect. Not sure where that little color burr is coming from. I'll have to merge everything down and smudge it out. Oh, my eye. Glarples. Cool. Right. Nope. Yeah. Oh boy. There. That and like that. This is form shading and basic light highlighting, so it's not doing anything too exotic here today. Pretty basic. Good. Burp, burp. Some little spotty highlights here and there, kind of like cell shading with a gradient fade. It's kind of how that's kind of how a lot of these leather material works well. Like with that, like here, it's like cell shading, like you're just blocking in a shape, but then the direction of like away from the light, I fade. So it causes, so the material has like a sheen to it, but it's not high gloss. Like if it was patent leather, then it would be high gloss, and then we could be doing like radical contrast for light reflection. But since this is more like felt, you know, like pressed leather, that's the word. The more faded look there comes across, I think, better. I'm gonna merge that down. Merge. Smudge that together there. Nope, 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 nope. Yes. Yeah, studying materials, understanding how light interacts with it, like how the material absorbs light and how it reflects light, that's everything. That's being able to distinguish from one type of texture to another. You can never get good enough with it. Always do better. So far, so good. Nice. Wait for it. Delete. Oh, there's a belt here that I hadn't done. Oh, is that the... Nope, there's something else going on over there. Where's that coming from? Nope. 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 This is getting obnoxious. Nope. There you are. Jeez, crack. Seriously? Come on, my dude. Didn't I just see you? There we go. I had a highlight somewhere. That's weird. Be gone. Oh, maybe that's, where are you coming from? Oh, there it is. Good. Hunting for color burrs. Color go burr. That was stupid. Shut up. Shut up, Kearney. Your dad jokes are lame. There. Better now. Better. There's my highlight, and there's my shadow. Thank you. Oops. Hey, we've almost gotten to the top of the illustration. That's great. Oh, super close. All right. Well, we'll just work the highlights then. I try not to make the base there's the base color, there's shadow, and then there's highlights, and then sometimes, depending, there's deep shadow. So there's four there's four values for anything that's going to be colored. And I generally try to go with the mid-tone, but sometimes I go with the shadow as the main color that I paint everything. Normally that's when I'm having a hard time finding a mid-tone reference that is relevant. Like sometimes having a mid-tone isn't, like, there's so much going on with a piece that having a mid-tone isn't really relevant. It's fine. Let's see if I can grab a higher light. Let's do... yeah. Super highlight. I want to try to get a little bit of grittiness in there. Let's not look too reflective. So I'm on kind of a rougher texture going into this. Text. Whopping 6 pages, which means you're either halfway or a third way through, depending on how balanced the pacing and meaning of the code. Yeah, right on, man. Congratulations. Progress. Sometimes just letting something sit is the best solution to knowing how to proceed. That's that conversation about procrastination that just because you're procrastinating doesn't mean you're lazy. It means that you are not emotionally or mentally prepared to take on the task at hand. And that doesn't mean no, that just means not now. I'm glad you're making progress on it, though. It's very satisfying when the embargo lifts and you can start kicking into stuff. Like it generally, it means that you found the inspiration. And it's going to end up the way that it's supposed to. So that's good news, man. I need to conceal this reference here because I need this line. A lot of times, like when I get intimidated by a particular segment of an illustration and I have to, I find myself like procrastinating it by working on something else. Generally, it's I wouldn't say every time, but there is a keen consistency to, 1 second. Perfect. Like it's not actually that big of a deal. Like the thing that's intimidating me, when I actually get into it, it ends up being like a non-issue. Like, oh, I don't even know why I was intimidated by this. It's because I didn't actually know what process I needed at the time. And it actually had to sit with me long enough for it to play itself out so that so by the time I actually get to it, it isn't intimidating anymore, and it's actually a very easy thing to do. I was just like, it's good that you procrastinate when you have to, because then you keep yourself from getting in the way of yourself. Like you could force yourself into a project, and if you're not actually ready for it, then you're just going to end up wasting a lot of time inside the project, as opposed to you could have been doing something productive outside of the project. Just set the fucking thing aside until you're ready to go. But that's life. What's my reference? I like these boots. Those are cool. Text. Oh, really? Oh, that's fun. Right on, man. Good luck with that. I hope your friends come through for you. Ew. There we go. Face here and here. Chung, 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 chung. Let's see, here and here. Really? Okay. Oh, I guess it is what it is. Highlight. Highlights and shade is such a relaxing process. Fun stuff. Hey, great. I'm happy with that. So we're going to take it to the next step here and clickety beep. Group it into drop it into a group, duplicate the group, bop. Conceal that group. We're going to merge this one down. Now we have a single layer that we can just cut through. We don't need our reference anymore. Where are we at on time? 7:28. Where's our coffee timer? Holy crap! I got 40. Did I not set a time? Never set a timer. All right, I guess I didn't. Anyway, let's take a sip of coffee. Wipe my nose on my wrist, and let's see if we can bring down the line a bit. Actually, let's experiment a touch. See what happens if we drop the light. We drop hard edge, drop it down to like 90 some odd percent. Let's take it to 90. Yeah, that feels a little better. Now we can merge all these together. Merge. There we go. Now do a quick cleanup sweep. The tricky thing about outlines or just line art in general is that there's an exterior space and there's an interior space, and depending on the width of the line art that you're using, the eye registers the silhouette, the exterior space as the actual silhouette of the object, the actual outline, but it doesn't recognize that line art. It perceives the interior of that line art as the form within the structure. Like if this was bop bop bop. Do some cleanup here on my lines. Great. So like if this line was thick like this, your eye would recognize this is the exterior, but it would acknowledge the interior color here as the actual like illustration, like the actual form of it. So if you have too thick of a line and then you start messing around with the thickness of the line to integrate it into the color art, like this process that I'm doing here, I have to be mindful of how much of the exterior am I erasing versus how much am I pushing the interior color towards the outer edge, because I'm going to be messing with, it'll end up messing with the ratios of like this face may look balanced here, but like if I push it out a little bit, it may look out of proportion. Similarly, if I push the hood in towards the line, it may make the face look smaller than it's supposed to, because that black line space in between is technically something your eye ignores. That's probably the best way of putting it. When you're looking at color, your eye kind of just ignores line art that overlays it. Yeah, got to kind of be mindful of that when you're doing your coloring. For anyone that's relevant to, for whatever reason, don't really know why I started that. Highlights push towards the line. Shadows push the line in towards the color. That way you can have the line art work with your piece. Like here we have like this little crook underneath the hood here, pushing the line art towards that crook so that it deepens the shadow of the color there with the black of the outline. And you can experiment with like color, like using color line art. That's a little more complex than what I normally like to do. Oh my God, how did I end up with this not getting darkened in here? But you see, I can push the shadow down towards the towards the edge of the cowl to thin the material down. Like it was looking a little bubbly to me, so I needed to thin it up a bit. And so controlling the highlights and line art here allows me to control how thick this fabric actually is as it forms the highlight and the shape here. Hopefully these words are making sense together. Again, I want to thin the material down, so I'm going to cut out a lot of that outline there, because I don't need that line art there in the color version. The color is carrying contrast between the background and the form. So by getting rid of that line art, I'm lessening the weight of the material, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And if I want to get rid of that glossy edge, I can just fade it into the rest of the fabric so it doesn't have an edge highlight. Edge highlights is indication of like patent leather or other really shiny like metal, lustrous materials. So by pushing it into the fabric, I kill the luster and it changes the material. And again, I want to make the material really thin, so I'm pushing the color into the line art so the line art disappears and the weight of material drops. Just like that. There we go. Like here I want to deepen the shadow, so I'm actually increasing the line, the thickness of the line here to help create cast and form shadows to help murk up that space a little bit, so I don't have to get so specific about how all this fabric folds together along the shoulders here. But I do want it here to help define this this collar from the rest of the space, to have that properly fit in together. There we go. There. This is such a low poly count picture. It's only 300 pixels by 300 pixels. It's a 1-inch image. It's just a token. So the amount of information I'm actually trying to cram into this space is pretty high. Like the amount of gradient that I'm doing here is really taxing the information that this low of a poly count can parse, if that makes sense. If this is a higher resolution image, I could like really get into form shading, but I specifically limited the resolution on this to keep it a token, so I don't end up diving in hard and trying to put 20 hours into this chick. Like, I mean, I love you, Fel, but you don't need that. You don't need it, kid. And like that. And like that. There we go. Thin this material down here too. There we go. That was easy enough. I was concerned that was going to be a problem. There. It's such a low poly count. It's hard to push. It's really hard to push pixels. the brush has to be one or like all the line art's only 1 pixel wide, and all this smudge work, like for this smudge brush to work really well, I need at least 2 pixels. So it's always attempting to reduce the crispness of the image at this poly count. It's an interesting challenge. Most of the brushes that I use are like 50 to 400 pixels in size. So the smaller and smaller they get, the capability of the tool continues to get suppressed. can't believe it's Friday again so quickly. My world is moving so fast. Good, 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 good. Keep on keeping on, Kearney. Be careful how much I trim that down. Oof, coffee pot agrees. What you huffing about over there? You're right, I should drink more coffee. See, fading that line art into the blouse softens the material. Less interested in the definition of this fabric, but softening it is very important. Go down here. Nope. Nope. Oh, I didn't do buttons. I'm gonna have to go back through and do the buttons. That'll be the last step. So I want to soften this line art here that separates the cloak from the shirt, and the outer line here of this bracer to help soften the edge. But here I want to keep that line sharp to help separate the brassiere from bustier. Is that a bustier? Anyway, whatever the hell it is. Like, I want to soften up the line art inside here for that bustier, but I want to keep this line for the doublet in place. Shirt. I'm going to soften that up a little bit. There. Now the material is much softer. like the highlights can remain lustrous and hard edged, but I don't want any like other than the highlights of reflecting light. I don't want any hard edges in that fabric anywhere. It'll look coarse. Good. I sensed that one coming. I got 20 minutes left? Yeah. Jesus. Maybe we'll get this done in 20 minutes. I doubt it. Didn't I have a bunch of line art here that was making this belt darker? I could have sworn I'd done that. All right, well, let's do it now. Ah, my face. No, I'm gonna merge that down. Good. Yep. No, maybe I will be done. Signs are pointing to maybe. Go. I really like how this piece is turning out. This is a good one. I just like chick art in general, though. So now I'm doing some hard line art here to introduce crinkles and pox. Good. That's pretty. That's pretty. Pretty good. I'm just gonna keep poking at this until I hit until the alarm sounds, and we'll be done for the day. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning to continue work on the Reclamant book cover. Actually, you know what I want to do? I'm going to hard commit to that. There we go. There. Much better. Much better. Much less, what the hell are you trying to do there, Kearney? This is the equivalent of me not drawing the feet. I didn't want to try to figure that out. I saw trouble there. I hid the problem. That's art. Nice. I think I'm just gonna. Oop, wait. We're now in the one more thing phase where I want to say I'm done, but then oop, one more thing, and then oop, one more thing. A lot of times when I post art, like online, like say, look what I did, like when I post it on Twitter or Discord or something like that. It's to an extent I'm proud. I want people to see what I'm doing, but it's also an opportunity for me. Like once I publish, when I put something out there, I almost immediately find like 2 or 3 things. It's like, oh, I need to do better with that. Like a lot of times it's a vanity check. Like I'll notice an anatomical issue, or like the lighting doesn't quite work, or oh, there's some grit I didn't fix. I call it a vanity check because when I put it out there, it's a chance for me to acknowledge it's not nearly as good as it could be, and to help highlight things I need to fix for myself. So when the actual final publication comes out, the actual work goes out, it's going to be better than what was than the initial look-see that I offered. Soften that edge there because it's a hand. Flesh doesn't have weird choppiness to it, so I need to smooth those edges down a little bit. Flesh is also a material. There. Nice. Okay, cool. I think I'm content with this. Not bad. Man, not bad. I mean, for a token, it's going to be like that. At that resolution, it's like It's freaking good. Failure, good looking chick. Well done, girl. All right, let's close that up, lock it down. Gnunk, locked. So let's see. We still have Zeleth, Artuk, Arkokra, Zedalia, Vampirate, Rutilage, Garganhale, Hastane, Mr. Finch, Hadozi Crewmate, and Theurgy. So we have 11 left to do, apparently. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. I am done for the day. I'll be back on stream tomorrow morning to continue the art that we're doing for the book cover for Reclamant RPG by Joseph Vargas, also known as Ukulele Bard. So if you like what we're doing here, stick around for more. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter if you want. And I will see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot.